That's right, guys. It's time for another comic book review. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner, guys, and this is your host, Spider Slayer. That's right, guys. Today we are doing a comic book review on the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 684. That's right, guys. This is part 3 of Ends of the Earth, and this series just seems to be getting better and better and better in each issue. It's written by Dan Slott. Herberto Ramos makes his first appearance in this series, so his artwork is in the interior covers in this issue, which he's done very well. It may be, his art may be a little bit rushed at times, but I do like his art. It's very cartoony, a little bit different. He has this way of making his characters look sexy at times, but at other times it can be a little wiry too. But overall, I thought the artwork was pretty good in here. Which was cool in this issue is that we get to see Silver Sable, which we have not seen in a while, and Black Widow, and she actually makes an appearance in this book as well. One of the things I did notice that Black Widow didn't seem to play such a major concern in this issue, or just a major player. She kind of just seemed to be there, didn't say too much, but it was cool to see her nevertheless. Sandman was a big part in this issue as well. Going forward here, we're going to push to the next cover. This is the variant cover, Ends of the Earth. This is a badass cover right here. We got Sandman holding Spider-Man in his original costume, not his armored Spider-Man costume. So that's a pretty cool cover, I must say. Again, artwork is just phenomenal in the cover works that's been done here. Stefano Caselli does the cover on here. Interior art, we can see the beginning here, Ends of the Earth Part 3. You see the whole group here, Mysterio, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, they all defeated the Avengers. Again, nice artwork done by Roberto Ramos. Next, this is a page in the beginning where you can see Silver Sable rescuing Black Widow to kind of set up a distraction for the Sinister Six, so Spider-Man and Black Widow can be rescued. So with that being said, let's move forward with this walkthrough here on the book. Again, Amazing Spider-Man 684. Definitely one of the better Spider-Man stories so far of the year. I've got nothing really bad to say about it. And guys, I always apologize about my camera. My camera sucks. So eventually I'm going to get a new camera here. It may be down the road a little bit, but I will get a new camera. So in the beginning of this issue, as we last left off, the Avengers and Spider-Man were teaming up to defeat the Sinister Six, and Spider-Man came up with all this like contingency plans within his armored spider suit to defeat the Sinister Six. Well, it kind of failed miserably. It only seemed like he defeated Electro. He's just like flown off somewhere and he's gone. So basically, it's the 5 of them left. But Doc Ock was basically ready for anything, and he was basically mind controlling Spider-Man's armored suit. So, but here in the beginning of the issue, we can see that Silver Sable there is cutting Black Widow out, and she's basically trying to rescue her to get free. And the Avengers are actually being taken away in Dr. Octopus's like crazy little ship there. But as time goes on, the distraction that Silver Sable made actually came through, and you can see, boom, a big explosion came up, and Dr. Octopus looked for a second, and the next thing we realize is that Dr. Octopus, he's like, no. He's like, I only looked away for a second, and now Spider-Man is gone. So, but meanwhile, they have no time. Time is short for Doc Ock. He's dying, so they took all the Avengers away and basically put him on the ship and go underwater. So meanwhile, Silver Sable is rescued, Black Widow and Spider-Man, and you know, Spidey was wondering, why'd you rescue, Black Widow, and and she's just trying to figure it out, and she's just saying, she was one of the closest that possibly that beat Otto Octavius and none of the other Avengers. Same with Spider-Man, like why was he rescued? Because she knows that Spider-Man has the most experience dealing with Doctor Octopus, and what was funny is that Spider-Man makes a joke about Silver Sable's like invisible jet, and he goes, "Oh, it's something out of a comic book," and it just makes you laugh. And she makes this face, or this comment saying, "Oh, I forgot about his constant quipes or quips," and Roberto Ramos does a nice job, like I said earlier about the characters' faces here. He puts nice detail in Silver Sable's and Black Widow's faces, giving them that like sexy type of badass looking characters there. Nice detail goes into the characters' faces. I mean, you can see that in Grady also, the facial expressions. He brings his characters to life. But meanwhile, Horizon Labs is basically out in New York. They can't stay there, so they're in this underwater base. And as time goes on, Spider-Man is trying to come up with ways to have his suit modified so he can defeat his enemies. So what happens is that he basically gets in touch with his boss, and what's happening is they're going to help him modify his suit to defeat everybody. But meanwhile, Dr. Octopus and the gang are heading over to the G8 summit with all the world leaders, and they're saying that he was talking that time has run out. He's like, you need to make your decision on what you want to do. Do you want the world saved from global warming? And they're trusting him, so everybody's agrees, and automatically right away Dr. Octopus is asking for his demands, and what his demands were to have a school or a shrine built under his name, academy under his name, and $2 billion put in each of his comrades' account, and their criminal records wiped clean because they're saving the world. Crazy stuff. So meanwhile, Silver Sable, Spider-Man, and Black Widow are patched in, and they're listening to all the details that are going on. And again, we can see that there's this plant as they're flying. There's a manufacturing plant that Black Widow is aware of. She's saying, we can go there, we can take out the plant, and we can stop this right now because he won't have enough satellites to launch and to do what he has to do. So meanwhile, the group here from Horizon Labs is giving Spider-Man some equipment to help stop Sandman, because they're heading to the Sahara Desert, so who else is going to be there, right? So what happens is they give him this Pink Hippo app, and it's just an application that puts thoughts in your head because you're always viewing it, and so the first thing that comes to your head is that, no matter how much you think it. So really, really cool. I really like the drawing here of Spider-Man. It's really well done. So as the issue prolongs, we find that the group lands. They get all geared up with their heavy artillery, getting ready to take out the plant, getting ready to take out some guards, and literally they notice that the only people that are making these things is the Octobots. So they said, all right, well, let's just blow up this place and get the hell out of here. They realized that it was a setup, and Doc Ock was basically setting up every kind of contingency that could possibly happen on what Spider-Man and the group could plan out. So literally we know, of course, since you're in the Sahara Desert, that's an awesome page right there. Great work. Sandman is waiting our three heroes here. and they're waiting. And he's like, ha ha ha, you're in for it now. I got the whole Sahara Desert by me, blah, 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 blah. Dr. Octopus is, had a very contingency and plan. He's like, Spider-Man makes this, big comment. He's like, we're in the desert. He's like, what do you expect? I'm going to expect Blizzard or Hydro Man? He's like, come on, you're freaking Sandman. So right away, Spider-Man puts his plan into action. He shoots this stuff into Sandman's mouth, and they're going to town, and they realize that they're finding this one little gem or one little grain of sand. And what they do, it's like his heart, his soul, the one thing that starts Sandman off, this one grain. And they use this Pink Hippo app, and that's what they call. And Silver Sable, Black Widow, and Spider-Man using applications on their phones, and he's looking at these applications, and they say dome, and automatically creates a dome, which is really, really awesome. And they're putting all these shapes, cube, spear, and automatically it's the first thing that goes in his brain. So his molecules are basically shifting, and he's like, oh no, he's like, stop, stop, stop. And then he's like, that's it. He's like, my whole plan is just to smash you, and that's all I'm gonna do. And then Spider-Man shows up the one thing that will get into his heart every single time, and that is Kima. That is his daughter. And right away it forms a shape of his daughter. And now Sandman is very vulnerable to the whole situation, and they see the one grain of salt or one grain of sand, and Spider-Man takes his web, shoots it through, and pulls it out, and then Spider-Man just basically crumbles, and then Sandman is basically contained in this one unit right here. Very, very awesome. So meanwhile, Dr. Octopus is basically watching the whole thing, and he reports to the world leaders. He's like, everybody. He's like, this is a global menace. His name is Spider-Man. He's trying to prevent us from saving the world. We must stop him. And that's how the issue ends. So very, very awesome issue. The Sinister Six is now the Sinister Four. You got Spider-Man defeated Electro and Sandman, and now they gotta go after the other heavy hitters, but they got the world leaders against them now. And here you see a little preview of the next issue right there. So this issue for me was very, very good. I would have loved to see Black Widow play a more critical role in this, but still, overall, great issue. Artwork was pretty well done. Cover is well done. Everything about this issue is really good, and each issue keeps getting better and better and better. So guys, tell me your thoughts on this book, this story arc so far. Is this the best one of the year that you've read so far? And what do you think of Spider-Man right now at this point in time? Because we are getting closer to issue number 700. So with that being said, guys, that is it from me. I appreciate you watching Comic Book Corner. Until the next... sorry, I'm losing the train of thought. Until the next comic book review, this is Spider Slayer signing off. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.